only ever knew I'm trapped in my mind and trapped in the zoo. Ooh, if I only ever knew. And so are you. Ooh, if we only ever knew we're trapped in
I still haven't turned around the cards. I decided I'm gonna use this deck. That is the Psychic Tarot Oracle. But straight away what came to my focus. First of all, disclaimer, this is not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. It's not meant to. If it doesn't resonate, don't try to make it fit, because this will do more damage than help. Just let it fly, take what resonates with you and leave out the rest, and just say, I don't know. That is the best possible way, rather than trying to jump to conclusions. So, straight away what comes to my mind is what I spoke in my previous video. This is the main energy that's coming forth. This is basically the moon, the shadow self. We are really forced right now to face our shadows. You see, there's a mirroring here. This is awesome. I love this deck. This is mirroring. Whenever there's light, there is bound to be darkness. This is the balance. I've seen in very rare cases where one of the twin flames, or beagles as I like to call it, for the sake of keeping it fun, as I mentioned already, is that one will embrace this role of being the saint, the light, this pureness and goodness. And as we all know, there's must always be balance in this universe. So what happens is the other beagle, the other twin, will immediately embrace this darkness so that there can be balance. And this is really not good. It's creating more separation than you can even imagine, because what's happening is that one of them is denying their other part of themselves, their shadow. They completely deny it. And this is mirrored back in the other person. So what happens is that person completely denies the possibility of light within them. And this by itself creates separation, but balance. Everything in this universe is balanced. So the message here is to accept your shadows, okay? You're just human. We all are. We all live in duality, and that's completely normal and completely okay. We're here to transform and transmute. Don't deny this part of yourself. It's something that's gonna come up a lot. The shadow self, the shadow side, and it's gonna look you right in the mirror. And I do believe that this here, I don't know, how's it called, like scepter or something, it represents the union. It represents the divine power, the source, God, whatever you want to call it. Really, it doesn't matter. It's just energy. It doesn't matter how we name it or word it. But this is what creates the balance. I mean, separation creates balance. Separation itself creates unity as well. It's just different levels, but there always has to be a balance. So you are the one who says how this is gonna go. If you're gonna be this guy, or if you're gonna be the whole thing within you, if you're gonna be the light and darkness. If I need, I'm gonna come back later to this card, but let's see what are the main energies. Yeah, okay. Oh wow, yeah, this card. This is the Five of Swords in the traditional tarot. This has been coming up so much that you can't even imagine. This is, when I see this card, I just roll my eyes because it's like the ego battles to me. It's like, oh no, poor me, my ego got hurt. Oh, I wanna cry. I'm sorry if I'm triggering someone. I just really try to keep things light and fun because this does not need to be so serious at all. Yeah, okay. So, we start with Eight of Cups. This is, let me focus it. Emotional withdrawal. Come on, focus, please. Focus on me. Focus, focus, focus on me. Okay. So as you see, this card says emotional withdrawal. Well, of course, as I already mentioned, when issues come up, when the shadow self, when the shadow side comes up, it's best if we just move back, move away, and be alone with ourselves to see what's going on, like what is triggering us, why is it triggering us, instead of trying to project it on someone else and get into petty conflicts. This is majorly seen in this role because conflict and defeat, this is the Five of Swords. And this is the card of petty conflicts. This is what happens when your ego has been hurt, and instead of admitting it, you try to project it on someone else. You try to hurt them. You try to win over some small battle thinking that this will heal and feed your ego. But in the end, you walk away hurt and the other person walks away hurt. And this does not have to be always about your other half, your twin flame or beagle. No, this, you can project this on other people and friends, family, whoever you're talking to. And this is something that's not okay. We are being advised right now to really stand in our truth. And this card is the Nine of Wands. It's a spiritual strength. I think this is a beautiful card because each time when I see it, it means that, you know, this heavy weight above, I don't know if you can see it, this heavy weight above is wanting to come down on us. But this large figure right here that's holding the ceiling is basically the representation of the spirit of this man. That it's much bigger than him and much stronger. We are much stronger than we believe we are, really. And this is something we really have to understand. That we are strong as much as we say we are. And the whole point of this is not to be a martyr, not to shut down in yourself and basically be like a scapegoat or try to experience this heaviness you might be feeling on your own. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. It's not what the cards are saying. What they're saying is when you feel the need to react, instead of doing that, ask yourself, why do I need to react? What is triggering this need for reaction in me? Because one time one of my guides said, reaction is everything. And it took me quite a few weeks to realize what they were saying. And finally I realized that your reaction is basically how they test you to see if you're ready to move forward and progress. Because if you stop reacting to something that's been a problem in the past for you, this means that you no longer resonate vibrationally with this issue or this problem or this person, and you're ready to move forward to the next level. That is why we're being strongly advised right now, before you make a scene, before you make a reaction to a certain obstacle or problem or person that's triggering you, just pause, breathe in, and ask yourself, like, turn towards your shadow side and ask it, what's the problem? Why do you feel hurt? Why do you feel offended? Why do you feel the way you feel, and so much that you want to react and possibly want to hurt someone else? What is the problem? Like, why? Then we go to the sacrifice card. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Hangman, which came up in my previous reading that I did. Again, stand your ground. This reading is really beautiful. The Hangman, what it speaks to me and what it spoke to me in the previous reading that I did, is that there is just immense need for change of perspective, because the way we see things are not always the way they are. And many times when we get hit by those shadowy energies, I'm gonna put it here. Is it visible? I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna put it here. Many times when we get hit by those shadowy energies, we start like going to negative outcomes in our heads because we feel taken down, we feel hit, and we don't know what's hitting us. Sometimes it gets too much and we start blaming the universe, like, why are you doing this to me? I don't deserve this. When am I gonna see the light finally? Like, when? But what is saying that don't feel attacked, don't take it this way. Each time when there's darkness coming up, it's simply asking you to sacrifice what you think you know, to sacrifice your perspective of things and how things should be or how they are. It's asking you basically to let go and relax. And that sometimes if something is being stalled or it is not moving forward as fast as you'd want it to, or if it's not moving at all, this is a clear sign that there's something that you need to change. As I said, this is one of my favorite phrases that I'm not sure whose it is. Some say it's Einstein's, some say that it's not his. But he said something like, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And he's so goddamn right. And it's been brought to me that in this TwinFlame community, a lot of the people are doing basically the same goddamn thing each time in each cycle, and they expect different result. They think that this time is gonna be different. I healed so much, but it doesn't happen. You get thrown back in the same karmic cycle, and it gets tiring, and you start beating up yourself like, what am I not doing right? Why is this not happening? Why everything is not moving? I'm so sick and tired of this vicious cycle. I want it to stop. I want it to end. I cannot take this anymore. And this is the whole point of it. There is a need to pause and reflect back at yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing what I did the last time? And why am I expecting a different result? Like, there is a strong need for revision. Like, go back in the past. Each time something did not go right in your reunion or with your other half, and just ask yourself, like, what happened? What did I do then that I'm doing right now, the same thing again, and expecting something else to happen? There is a strong need to just surrender what you think you know you should do, all of the guidelines that have been presented in this community from gurus and so on and so forth, and to just ask yourself, really, your own self, how should I approach this? I feel like this separation that's happening right now, it's not only between beagles, but also there is a separation from the community. I feel like a lot of people are taking a step back because sometimes it can get toxic. Like everyone is trying to tell you, you should do this and you get union, or you do that and you get union. Look at me, this is the way I got union. But what people forget is that we we have our own individual paths, and my path won't be the same as yours for sure. What's gonna be the same though in our journey is the energies that are hitting us. The difference is how we respond to them. Some people are further in their path, so they react in the right way, and I'm using hand quotations because there's no right or wrong, but simply they react in a way that allows them to move forward in their journey. And others react in a way that they basically show that they haven't learned the lesson their soul wants to learn, so they get back thrown in the same karmic cycle. And this is why the last time it was brought up to me that some people might be taken off this path because it can become toxic for them if they keep grinding and grinding and grinding at the same place and nothing changes. And I know that because I have been there. And it's extremely painful when you're so blind to your own mistakes. And you just see other people prospering and you're like pushing it and nothing's changing. You're just ramming your head in the wall, and it gets painful and exhausting, and you just lose will for everything. And this is a time where you need to like pause and just detach completely from this journey, detach completely from spirituality even. Focus on things that make you happy, and it will find its way back to you. If it's meant, it will find its way back to you, because God knows I have denied this journey like 2,000 times, and each time it had found me back. And I realized that this is something I cannot deny anymore, and I should just accept it. And basically this is what this role is telling me, that just because you don't see the light, it does not mean that it's not there. Not at all. Not at all. It's always there. It's just dimmed at the moment for some reason. And keep in mind that if you don't see the light, you're the one who can pull the curtains so that you can see it. It's not a higher power. No. No. Imagine the knowledge they're trying to give us as a curtain. And it has some complex method of it's like locked or something, and you gotta figure out the lock or the code so that you can just push it aside and let the sunlight in. This is what's motivating us to actually figure out the code so that we can see the sunlight. And this is what this reading is telling you. Find the sunlight in your own way. Just surrender everything you think you know. That mind, you just the thing is that you don't know what's not working. Okay, you think you know, but you don't. And if you just surrender and let go all of your ideas, perspectives, and belief systems, you're gonna be given something that resonates even more and can help you in your current path. Stand your ground. That card got me a little bit bedazzled. I'm not sure why. I'm looking at it and I'm trying to figure out what it's trying to say. Stand your ground basically to me is saying that it goes well with this card, the spiritual strength. And I believe that what it's trying to tell us is that no matter how hard it gets, we have to always remember why we're here. We always have to revise from time to time. Why are we exactly on this path? What are we doing here? What's our motive? Our deepest motive? Because many people whose deepest motive is to get in union and get the person they actually want, they will fall from the path simply because this motive is not pure. It comes from fear. It comes from issues, fears of abandonment. Probably, basically, it comes from your shadow side. And ask yourself and be fully honest with yourself. Is this your deepest motive? Because if yes, then maybe you're not. Maybe this path is just not for you. Because it's not what's about, really. It's okay if you started with this motive. I feel like many people did, but they transformed it with time. Um, Even if you answer yes to this question right now, and even if this is your motive right now, like, just be so brutally honest with yourself, because really, you're not lying to anyone but yourself. And you don't want to do that ever, ever. Trust me, ever. If the answer is yes, then ask yourself, do I want to sacrifice this? Do I want to let it go? Do I want to transform my motive? Do I want to change it? Do I want to make it deeper and more focused on myself? For those whose that's not their motive, then constantly remind yourself why you're doing this. Remind yourself how painful this journey has been, how much struggles it had, but in the end you overcame it, and here you are, and your life is twice as amazing as it used to be. And it's gonna get even better and better with each and every year, month, second even. It gets better. Remember that. Each time you get hit with this new knowledge, this darkness that you feel, the dimmed light, the shadow, know that you have the light within you, and it's up to you when you're gonna allow it to shine to everyone else and to you. Stand your ground. Remember why you're here and why you're doing this. Okay, moving down. So, I'm not sure. Is this the sun card or this is the sun card? I gotta check. I don't remember their numerical. Oh wait. Yeah, that's the sun, and this is that's the sun card. I'm sorry, it's not the star, it's the sun card. Light. And this is actually the stars. So how amazing. We literally have the sun, the moon, and the star in our reading. If this is not speaking of union, then I don't know what it is. Seriously. I don't know why I keep hearing the stars can shine if something illuminates them. I'm pretty sure that's not physically correct, but whatever. Moving on. um, so we have actually here the star card. And you can see that, I don't know if you can actually see, but she is holding this light in her hands as if as if this person is offering it to someone, and there is a silhouette of a person inside of the light. And again, this reminds me and brings me to focus that we are the light that we seek so much. And I feel like the divine is getting much harsher on us, because I feel like during the last Saturn retrograde, they really stripped us away from everything. Oh my god, it was the most horrible time period of my life. I swear I couldn't connect to any one of my guides. I couldn't read tarot. I couldn't feel the energies. Like I felt dead almost. I was completely shut out of my spirituality. And then this was not happening only to me. I had like more friends that were feeling the same way. And later on, I saw that the collective were feeling this energy as well. And during this retrograde, or more so after it, it was brought up to me that this was purposely done so that they would see us how we would react if the source is cut off. Can we create our own source? Can we create our own light even when there's darkness? I'm not gonna lie, it was really hard for me to do it. I don't even know if I made it. But it was a pretty awful time. And I feel like this card is reminding us exactly that. To stop relying on some outer sources or beings and energies to give us light, to give us hope. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for signs. I doubt that someone is gonna be denied help ever. But I feel like with times help is gonna be given only if really needed. Simply because I feel like they want to teach us to stop relying on something else or someone else to feel this light within us. We gotta be responsible because many of us became very dependent on spirituality and light beings and whatever you want to call it, this universal energy to help us and guide us. But it's time to do it on our own. It's time to not be students anymore but be teachers. It's time to start creating our own path. This doesn't mean that we're not gonna be protected. No, we're always protected and always guided. But it's time to just stop relying on that and have trust and faith that whatever we're going is the right path for us, and stop trying to overlook at it and overthink it and think like, okay, if the universe wants me to go this path, then everything is ruined. Like, I'm not actually going where I want to, but I'm actually going further away. No, you can't know. The universe is full of miracles, and just by you thinking that you're going to the right path, you don't know. You don't know what can happen tomorrow or in 2 days or in 1 week. You don't know the miracles that can happen in your life and completely shift it around and change it for good. Miracles happen every day, but they also happen very rarely. For the reason that a miracle, what some might call miracle, is something so profound, and it takes so much time to adapt to this new energy and accept it and just start living from this miracle, that it can happen every day. So just trust. It's so important to trust, not the divine. Don't even trust the divine. Trust your goddamn self. Trust yourself that you know where you're going. Oh my god, I'm sorry I got so passionate. Trust that you're not going to lead yourself into misery and pain. Have faith in yourself. The divine doesn't want you to suffer. Of course, we all know that. It's the all-loving power. But what is your power? Do you love yourself the way the divine loves you? Do you have faith in yourself the same way that divine has faith in you? Because if the answer is no, then what are you doing? What are you doing? If you have to have this faith in yourself that you will not set yourself up for failure. You really, really, really have to trust yourself and have faith in the things you believe. This is it. Stand your ground. In the things you believe, in the things you feel. Trust yourself. Funnily enough, towards the end, I'm kind of seeing like this is the 3 of Cups and 4 of Wands, basically. So I'm gonna draw some clarifications. because they do seem like very positive cards, like a lot of reunions happening after all this period is done and all those lessons are done. And I see the possibility of setting new foundations in those connections. And I feel like they're gonna, for most of you, are gonna happen very fast and swift, and you won't be expecting it at all. There's definitely communication coming for some. If all of this is healed, what I just spoke of, and understood, and basically if you move away from this energy, if you confront your shadow side, heal it, ask it what it wants, respect it, and move on. If all of this is done, I see a lot of positive things coming for many people. The focus gets shifted. Oh my god, this is insane! I cannot make this up ever. Do you see this? I literally got the three knights, one after another. I wonder if I pull one more card if it's gonna be the fourth knight. This is the Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and Knight of Wands. So there is a lot of action coming up, you guys. A lot of action, a lot of communication, a lot of planning, possibly with your beagle, aka TwinFlame. Setting up a new foundation, something that's okay. I'm gonna end it here. Look at this. At the bottom of my deck, I have again the Hangman. This is the Hangman too. So the Hangman, it even came twice in my previous reading, so that's very strong energy. And I'm gonna end this reading with the Fool. I don't even think I need to say anything about this card. It's just so beautiful. The energy doesn't feel that heavy, to be honest. It just takes a bit of courage from our side, a bit of understanding and letting go. It takes maturity from our side, but in the end, if we complete this task, we're bound to have a majorly new beginning. And I feel like a lot of people will be getting in union, if not soon, very soon, next year most definitely. I feel like unions are happening more and more often, and this is beautiful to see because we fucking need it. We need people who are getting in union. We need them to be our teachers. Yeah, it's just the Fool. Everything is new energy, building up new foundations. I keep hearing this a lot, building up new foundations. Possibly with your within your own life or with your other half. It's just amazing reading. I'm just gonna end it here because I don't feel like it needs much more complications. So yeah, thank you a lot for listening to me. I hope it resonated. If it didn't, again, just leave it at that and find some other reader that you resonate with. If you want private reading with me, I'm gonna leave my email link down below. I haven't been thinking much about private readings and prices and so forth, but it's something I'm gonna consider if there is interest for private readings. I really hope that...
Ooh, if I only ever knew I'm trapped in my mind and trapped in the zoo. Ooh, if I only ever knew. And so are you. Ooh, if we only ever knew we're trapped in our minds and trapped